Following video is probably not for children. It will be a two-part video. It may be more than that because while it's quiet, I gotta try this. If it's not, then this will wind up being an intro or a blooper reel. So, got this from the top buzz again. CBS Minnesota. Carnivorous in Minnesota. We are watching you. Racist note left on Woodbury, home of Asian American couple. Stay informed coronavirus or COVID-19. Resources download CBS Montana app. Minnesota, I don't know why I said Montana. Minnesota Twin Cities, a couple. Alvin Mua, I'm not saying that right. Vanisha Yang, I'm probably not saying that right, so let me spell their names for you. Alvin, Alvin, last name Moua, and Venetia, whatever, Yang, Vanishia, Yang, Yang, say they are sad and angered by the racist note left on their door this week. When Alvin, I will refer to him as Alvin, and I will refer to his woman as Yang, because I can't pronounce none of their damn names. But anyway, when Alvin returned home Wednesday, he noticed a piece of paper stuck in his front door in Woodbury. I thought I might have been a notice or a sign, Alvin said. I got closer and I actually read the note itself, and it was pretty disturbing. This is what the note says. Y'all probably can't see that, but if you can, doesn't matter, I'm going to read it to you anyway. We are watching you. It's got something scratched through. Take your Chinese virus back to China. We do not want to hear. We don't want you here. It's also misspelled wrong. It's Hear. Infecting us with your disease. Your friendly neighborhood. So he's speaking on the whole neighborhood there. Alright, so obviously the scratched out word was too, okay, they're going to say it right here. We're watching you effing Chinese. Take your Chinese virus back to China. We don't want you here infecting us with your disease. A lot of explanation points. The note was signed, Your Friendly Neighborhood. Alvin's emotions were racing, anger, frustrated, and a lot of anger, he said. After alerting their landlord, he called Woodbury Police. Why do I keep saying Woodbury? It's Woodbury. Woodbury Police Department tells WCCO that there are no leads, although the detectives are working on it. This sort of behavior has no place in our community. We are saddened that the person would be cruel and racially blame the neighbor for the COVID-19 virus, the police officer said. The statement echoes online. Yang, that would be the girlfriend, posted a drawing of 1,000 supports and comments. It is kind of the thing that makes me sad. I don't know, because I would like to feel welcomed here, Yang said. It's hard, it just makes it a little bit harder for Asian Americans. Okay. Although Alvin and Yang think that it is important to all know about the hurtful things that are happening close to their home, please don't be afraid to share your story. I mean, we need to spread the awareness, Yang said, because obviously there are people who are out there who care. Woodbury Mayor Ann Burt apologizes to the couple on behalf of the city. She encourages the victim or anyone aware of these incidents to call 911. Alright, so I read some of these posts, and I apparently got 4 likes from what I said. I said it's messed up and I'm angry as hell. Let me see, did anybody reply? Nobody replied. They gave me 4 thumbs up though. My last comment, no one's really read yet, but I'll read the part. And I'm making this video because of this article, by the way. So we need to open our eyes for one. One thing I wrote, and I'm going to read this whole thing to you in its entirety, and I'm sorry about the lawnmower and things like that. So I wrote on here, because I've read all the comments, and here's one of the things I wrote. Okay, I read most of the comments here. And I will say that some of us need to check ourselves here. I don't condemn anyone of their own thought process. However, I have decided that I'm going to make a video about this. Henceforth, here we are. Um, where was I? On my YouTube channel, Kung Fu Havoc 2. Here we are. And y'all all can feel free to come check it out. I think I may open your eyes to how racist we have become. I hope to teach us all something about our humanity and why we need to grow up and we need to take a knee and learn to see between the lines. The damn racist truth about America is our people. There is the most most of y'all ride with blinders on, is what I was trying to say. Most of us ride through this society, through the world today, with blinders on. We don't really think about how it affects other people. Because here's how racism works. If you are not in the race of the victim of racism, it doesn't really affect you. You don't really give a flying shit. It's not smacking you in the face. If you're not dating out of your race, it doesn't smack you in the face. If you don't know a person of a different race who has been a victim of racism on some level or another, you're riding with blinders on, it doesn't smack you in the face. Some of the comments, one guy, AK, I'm not going to give you his old name, he has 43 likes, and most probably a Trumpster, racist, and ugly. I answered him. I don't think he's going to answer me back, but, the point of the matter is, because I'm not a Trump supporter, Trump does not like my people, and by my people, I mean my ancestors that are Native American. Standing Rock was living proof of that, but I don't hate Trump supporters because they stand with this racist dude. All of them might not be racist, they all just might need somebody to follow, so there you go. Plus, he has like 8 billion people or so following him on Twitter, for God only knows why. Other ones I read, user said that the guy was completely uneducated because of the word here. H-E-R-E is what he meant to spell, but he wrote H-E-A-R, which is what you hear here, because H-E-A-R has the word ear in here. Alright, so then we got a TH. He says this is bullshit, it's not their fault, which I gave him an amen for. Then there was the first writer, I gave a true for. There was a CH again. Why don't you face these people, you fucking cowards? Which I also gave him a thumbs up for. And told him, it's a whole lot easier to threaten people behind a camera where no one can see you or grab you or touch you than it is for you to say shit that you feel to them face to face, because you may get your ass kicked. So, again, that's why this video probably shouldn't be watched by children. But, then there was another one. They really chunk down the ignorance of these people. And then you have the people who actually thinks that it's bullshit. One guy talks about video cameras and security cameras in the area. Okay. In the defense of poor people, not everyone in every neighborhood has Ring. Because some of us can't afford it. We live in a predominantly black neighborhood. We don't have Ring. We got a preacher that lives up the street. And across from the preacher, there are people who are not so squeaky clean, but we're all poor people. We have a fuck ton of Mexicans that live in the trailer courts, and some white people that live there too. None of them, and even us, can afford Ring. Right? Then further down you go to where Roy's Place, there's a mixed neighborhood there. Fairly is mostly white people. None of them have Ring. And if they do, we don't know about it. And then all the way down Rougemont on our side, and on the other side, no one there has Ring. There's maybe 3 white families on Rougemont, and they're all like right next door to each other. The white guys are next to us. They rock out. They have a band. Shout out to Jack and them. The white people next to them, they're a mixed couple. There's a white lady and a black husband. And then right across from there, there's a white nurse. We don't have a bunch of white people in the neighborhood. We have enough white people in the neighborhood, and they're all with us, We're all in the same block, but not all of us have Ring. And my mistake. There are actually 4 white families on Rougemont, because I'm next to the white nurse that lives across the street from the mixed couple. There's another white family that just moved in, and they don't have Ring either, and they're like an elderly couple. So if none of us have Ring, we can't all say what we saw if no one saw anything. Same thing happened years ago when my sister got shot. So yeah, everybody saw everything, but everybody saw nothing at the same damn time. And you try to explain it to the Charlottesville police officers because I tried to tell them, look, dude, that shit was a Desert Eagle. And it's like, nah, that wasn't a Desert Eagle, kid. You don't know what that. Well, here's a news flash for you because I've been in the military since then, and some Desert Eagles in some clips they can fire 9mm rounds. All right, that's def on that. The point of the matter is that you know, a lot of people don't understand how racism works. All right, if you are white and you haven't been a victim of racism, it doesn't really affect you directly. But if you know black people, it still affects you because you know those black people. And not all white people are racist, not all black people are racist, and not all Asians are racist. I make videos like this all the time because there's an equal amount of racism in all the ethnicities of the world, but no one wants to address it until it affects them directly. They don't care that it's this big while it's not affecting them, but it's this big when it's affecting everyone else. And if you're not willing to address the fact that America is the most racist place on the planet, all right? America is the only place in the world where no matter what your race is, someone has something racially to say about you. And I get it the worst because I'm mixed. So, being that I'm part Cherokee, part black, and part white, and I've been a victim of racism about all three of these people, period. And yeah, I'll admit it. I've had 2 racist incidences with Native Americans. I've had 3 to 5 racist incidents with white people, and I've had a lifetime of reverse racism from black people. So yeah, racism is an equal conglomerate. There is no discrimination on how many people are actually racist versus their race. Every race of people has some racism in their people. Now, not all of those people in those races are racist, but there is racism. There are white racists, there are black racists, there are Asian racists. And why do I stop there? Because technically there are only 3 scientific human beings. Alright? Again, we're going to go through the racial dichotomy of this. You have Mongoloids, in which Native Americans and Asians fall under. You have Negros, which is what black people fall under. These are the scientific names, people. And then you have Caucasians, and that would be all the white people from Europe, France, etc., etc. And I'm trying to make this as less racist as possible. Epic fail there. The point of the matter is that if you are of Native American descent, your ass is Asian. Whether you want to admit it or not, it's a whole other ballgame, but biologically, you're Asian. All Native American tribes, from the First Nations in Canada to all the American tribes, including the Eskimos, including all the way down to Aztec, Incan, Mayan, and Amazon tribes of South America. They're all Native Americans, and they all came from Asia. And that includes Mexicans as well. So if you're Hispanic and you have Mexican, if you're part Native American, there you go. If you're Hispanic and you're from Spain and have no Native American ties, then you're Hispanic from Spain, which means your ass is white, which means you are European, because people from Spain who are European are white Spanish versus Mexicans who speak Spanish. Understand the dichotomy of that. Let's not go any deeper into that. Let's just keep going on. So a lot of these comments started getting heavy, And one guy, we're going to call him BB, he wrote down, this is what happens when people start mixing with each other. Now, the MOAB, M-O-A-B, and it has so-called Chinese, are getting racist letters, and the ISU, the so-called white people, so he went through the European words and scientific definitions and stuff like that. That's funny because they were once Confederates in the Palms 83 King James Version. I don't get biblical because I believe in God, but I don't throw my religion down your face because that's not me. But my answer to that was, I'm the product of what happens when you mix people because, not just because of the raping of black slaves and white indentured servants and Native American slaves. I'm not just a product because of that. I'm a product because you don't choose who you fall in love with. Shit happens. But my ancestors, both my dad's mom and my mom's mom, are Native American. My dad's mom's mom is from the Powhite Reservation in Richmond. She's Cherokee. My grandmother on my mom's side was adopted by a black woman, so we're not sure she's half Cherokee or all Cherokee, but we know that she was raised by a black woman, and God rest my grandmother Sarah's soul. Anyway, that being said, we don't know that much about my grandmother's history because she was adopted, all right? However, my grandfather, who is half black and half white, who married my grandmother and produced my mom, that's why my mom looks white, we know they're from Nelson County. That's pretty much all we can give you, and his last name is Rose like the flower, R-O-S-C. Now, on my dad's side, my dad's dad was straight black. That's the best I can give you. I know nothing else outside of his name, and he was black, and I carry the last name. My dad's mom and her mom supposed to be full-blooded Cherokee. Alright, so we got that. So there you have my family history and my ethnicity, but when it comes down to stuff that is racist, I've suffered the most because I am mixed. I know racism forward and backwards in the forefront, and it's one of the things that I'm totally against. I think that you should be able to date and love whoever the hell you want, not like certain people that I no longer follow because they're like, well, I don't like mixed people. Okay, that certain person was building a school for people of color, specifically black people of color. So yeah, once he said that he won't gonna have white teachers or Asian teachers, and that you should not date them, and you won't fall in love with them, and all that shit, I was done with that guy. I was like, you know what? You're a racist. You're just a straight racist. You're just a black power guy who's racist towards other people, which makes other racists look just as bad, if not better than you, because you're a down low racist. You're a racist until it affects you directly, and I don't like that. So yeah, I'm not supporting his school, and the school was all kind of, there was a big clusterfuck behind that on the internet. Y'all guys can go find that guy. But I'm not gonna put his name out there either. I've made videos about it. Just go search my channel here, you'll find it. And that there kind of put me on notice about where certain people stand. I'm pretty sure a lot of my videos will probably come back to bite me in the ass, but at this point I don't really care. The fact of the matter is I like telling the truth. People don't like the truth. So I go a little further down, on this thing. And one of the users, I'm only going to need the first three names, first three numbers, 246. He says he calls bullshit on the letter. And I wrote, why don't you watch the news? If y'all haven't been up to speed on the news, let me inform you now. The gun stock has gone up in the Asian community. Asians are going and buying weapons left and right, because of fear. If you haven't watched the news of not the black guy attacking the Asian guy because he hates Asians because they had nothing to do with the coronavirus, but the young lady on the subway that was attacked, the other young person who was sprayed by the black guy with Febreze on the subway, don't sit next to me, start Febrezing the guy. These things are real, alright? So when he called bullshit, I simply say, why don't you watch the news? And the simple fact of the news, if you were watching The View yesterday, Lisa Lee came on, and that is my girl. I have a celebrity crush on Lisa Lee too. The fact of the matter that she came out and started chumping down Trump for calling it the Chinese virus. Well, see, here's the thing. It's not just affecting the Chinese Americans, it's affecting all Asian Americans, and they're all being haunted and persecuted by this. So I will make a second part to this video, possibly a third part. People are starting to talk, so it's probably going to show up. So thank you guys for watching. Peace, seeing you.